Is 8:37 p.m. Central Standard Time on this Sunday, September the 21st, 2025. Just want to bring you a quick little thought tonight, little update. Um, I want to say this. Um, God's prophetic clock was pre-wound for a 6,000 year period of time, and to bring in the kingdom age. And we are in the final moments of that ticking clock. Either way you look at it, a lot of folks are looking for this Tuesday, and hey, I hope he comes. I hope he comes tonight. And but it may not be time yet. And but he's coming. He's coming. It may be tonight. It may be tomorrow. It may be Tuesday. It may be next year. But he's coming. He's coming soon. I want to give you a couple more thoughts on what I call the 6,000 year Earth. Technically, it's a 7,000 year period of time, but the final 1,000 years is the kingdom age. So we're mainly concerned about the first 6,000 years. But it's important to understand some things. For one thing, the Sabbath. The Sabbath is a period of time. The Sabbath is the seventh day, and we see the precedent set by God in Genesis 1 and 2 that God rested on the seventh day. And I believe the 7,000th period of time, the kingdom age, is also a Sabbath. And I don't believe we can go into that. I don't believe we can go 1 minute into the kingdom age, um, and still be in, the tribulation and all that. The kingdom age is going to come in at exactly the right time. So now I've talked to you quite a bit recently about the 6,000 year Earth, the 7,000 year Earth, but I got a couple other points that I wanted to give you just to reinforce it, just in case some of you ain't convinced yet of the 6,000 year Earth and then the kingdom. Maybe we got some scoffers watching tonight. Maybe you're not convinced that there's going to be a period of exactly 6,000 years when Christ comes on the white horse and brings his wife with him, the bride, and comes down and sets up the kingdom for that final 1,000 year period called the kingdom age, which will finish off a perfect 7,000 year Earth or universe, I should say. And so let me give you something here to chew on. Now, already shared a bunch of quotes from men all the way back to 300 AD, I believe, maybe even 100 AD. I don't know. Giving you lots of quotes from they're in my books, they're in my PowerPoints. Um, I may not put those quotes. I have them in there now for this PowerPoint that I'm preparing for y'all on the rapture, possible rapture date 2026. But I may have to take those out for time. I'm only going to have about 25, 26 minutes to do this PowerPoint for television. So I may have to pull those, so it's not a big deal anyway. Um, I think most people understand and believe the 6,000 year thing. Um, One of my points here, and I've already shared this with you in the past, 2 Peter 3:8. A day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is a day. 2 Peter chapter 3, the entire chapter, verse 1 to verse 18, is all prophetic. It's a prophetic chapter. And right in the middle of that prophetic chapter, just about exactly in the middle, is that verse talking about Genesis, talking about the 6 days of creation, and that a day with the Lord is as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years is the day. God is telling us something, isn't he? It's kind of like Isaiah 46:10, and that'll be in the PowerPoint as well. He telleth the end from the beginning. You want to know how this ends? Go back to the beginning. And in the beginning, there's a lot of information. Just in the first chapter, there's a lot of information. What day of the week it began, which means that's the day it's got to end if it's going to be a perfect series of time. And so, not only that, we got the time of day, 6 p.m. Evening and the morning of the first day. The creation began at 6 p.m. on Saturday night at 6 p.m. Yep, because six days later, and then the seventh day is Sunday or Saturday. I'm sorry, Saturday. Saturday night at 6 p.m. is actually the beginning of Sunday, the first day. Okay, so we got that. Well, let me say this about 6,000 years. Six is God's number. No, it's not, is it? Seven is God's number. Just trying to throw you there. What is man's number? What's the number of man? Six. Six is the number of man, not seven. God rests on the seventh day, his Sabbath. That's God's number. Man is going to work for 6 days, and then the rest comes. The world will be here 6,000 years, and then God's rest comes, the kingdom age. Yep. So, okay, is that helpful? Is that helpful? I'm trying to throw some more things out to you. Um, how about another one? How about Genesis 6? What do we see in Genesis 6? Remember, six is man's number. What's Genesis 6 about? We'll read the context starting in chapter 5, and then you get right into chapter 6. Chapter 5 ends with men began to multiply. In those days, men began to multiply. And then it goes right into chapter 6. It's man multiply, increasing in numbers. Six is man's number. What does God say in that chapter 6, which is man's number? What does God say? He says, my spirit shall not always dwell with man, but his days will be 120 years. I personally believe that 120 years there is bigger than what it says there. I think what he's saying there is 120 Jubilee cycles, or maybe generations. 6,000 years divided by 50 is 120. There will be 120 Jubilees in a 6,000 year period of time, right up until that final one will be Christ comes on the white horse on the Day of Atonement, the very day the Jubilee trumpet is sounded. And then the entire 50th year is the Jubilee. And so anyway, now remember now, so my spirit shall always dwell with man, but his day should be 120 years. Sounds like 120 Jubilees to me. Okay. All I'm saying is that there's much proof to back up the claim of a 6,000 year earth and then the kingdom age. And so where are we on the clock? Where we are on the timeline? Well, this is 2025. If you haven't listened to me before, if you're new here, you're thinking, well, we've already passed that. We're already in the year six. We're already in the year 6025. But we're not. We're not, because we started counting the New Testament years at the wrong place. We started them at the birth of Christ instead of the death of Christ. Okay, so you got to knock off the years of Christ's life, 33 and a half, possibly. Nobody's 100% sure, but we do know this. The Bible does say when Jesus was about 30, that's when he began his ministry. And we're pretty sure his ministry was a 1260 day cycle. 3.5 years, 42 months. And so that would put him 33 and a half, right? Something like that. But it says about 30. So it's not, you can't get too dogmatic because it's not said dogmatically like it's an exact time period. So he was about 30, whatever that means, right? Okay, are you with me there? And so what we do know is this: we are very close. We are very close, and I'll share some more with you when we do the PowerPoint, and um, we'll show you what's going on with the calendar and what this really looks like and where it looks like we are right now, though we can't be 100% sure. So, all right, time is running out. The 6,000-year clock is ticking down, and you better be ready. You better realize we ain't got 10 years down here. It ain't off that much. If it's off very little. We ain't off that much. And the truth is, we may be spot on here. So time is running out. You need to get your house in order. You need to get your heart right with God. If you're not sure you're saved, you need to get saved. You need to stop putting this off. You need to stop beating around the bush. You need to stop putting it out of your mind, and you need to get somebody in your life that knows God and say, "Would you help me? I'm just not sure." Go to church or visit your pastor if you have one. Get with somebody you trust and you know they're saved and they know what they're talking about. Get with them and get you a Bible. Have them show you in the Bible how to be sure about this thing because time is running out. You get left behind at the rapture, my friend, it's over for you. It's over for you. Okay? And yes, there'll be people saved on the tribulation beginning at the second half. Half the world will already be dead at the second half. So don't count on you being alive, even if you haven't been crossed that deadline with God and you could still be saved. You won't get saved till the middle. You say, well, after the rapture, the trumpet sounds, I'll know then. No, you will not. No, you will not. There'll be nobody being drawn by the Holy Spirit after the rapture. Number two, if you're saved, get your house in order. Get your house in order. It's past time to get some junk out of your life, some sin out of your life, some unrighteousness out of your life, some evil habits out of your life. It's time to get some junk out of your life. Time's running out. What are you waiting on? You're going to face him one day, real soon. You're going to stare eyeball to eyeball with the Lord Jesus Christ, who paid the eternal sin debt for you. And you're going to face him living a worldly, sinful life down here on this planet. You're going to be ashamed at his appearing. Is that what you want? Is that what you want? To be ashamed when you meet him? So number one, make sure you're safe. Get it settled. Get it settled. Number two, get 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 your house in order. Get some junk out of your life. Get some bad habits out of your life. Number three, get some good in your life. Do something for God while there's still time. Do something for the Lord before it's too late. Read First Corinthians chapter 3 when we get off here. My Bible's over there. I can't get to it. So First Corinthians 3 talks is the judgment seat. And we're going to be judged, and some are going to our works are going to be judged. Some of us have wood, hay, and stubble. It will be burned in the fire. and others are going to have precious stones, gold, silver, precious stones, that the fire will withstand that. And the Bible says some will be saved. This is sad. This is very sad. Some will be saved, yet so as by fire. Now, some of you get confused. You see that fire there, you think that's hell. That's not hell. Saved people don't go to hell. If you're at the judgment seat of Christ, you're saved. You're already in heaven. But your work, the things that you did in your life for God, your works will be judged. Only that which done for Christ will survive the fire of the judgment seat there. That's why it says, there it is. Thank you. Chapter 3, verse 15. Van put it up there on the YouTube channel. And that's a haunting verse. When my first church I pastored way back in 1991, 1992, I preached on that. And even before that, I preached on my church bus route. And I had a bag full of ashes, but I did it in Maine and had a bag of ashes. And I preached, Ashes or a Crown, what shall it be? That was my title. Ashes or a crown, what will it be? It's up to you. The good that you do will bring a reward. The things you did that were not for God and not the right motive, whatever, they're burned in the fire and ashes. And remember, our crowns were thrown at the feet of him. But some of us will not have crown. We'll have ashes. What a terrible way to meet God. What a terrible way to meet the one who paid your sin debt. So those three things tonight. If time is short, if time's running out, and it is, you better, number one, make sure you're born again. Make sure your name's written in the Lamb's book of life. Get somebody and sit down and talk to them. Get this settled. If you don't have anybody, contact me. I'll help you with it. Contact us here. Number two, clean house. Get some junk out of your life. Get as much junk out of your life. Time is up. Time's running out. Why don't you get some junk out of your life? And number three, do something for God before it's too late while you still can. There are people listening to the sound of my voice. You've been a Christian for many years, decades, and you've never won one soul to Jesus Christ. There's a hymn in the songbook that haunts me. I forget how it starts, but it's talking about our life and not one soul with which to greet him ought to lay at Jesus' feet. Forget how that starts, but um, I want to say only one life will soon be passed, but that's a different one. But um, anyway, all right, 6,000 year Earth. I gave you some more things to think about, proofs that I'm right about this, that it is 6,000 years from the Genesis 1, the first day of creation, 6 p.m. Saturday night, to the end of this 6,000 year period. And we're close. Some people think it's this year, this Feast of Trumpets, 2 days from right now, Tuesday, less than 2 days now. Because remember, it's Jerusalem time. Some of you people crack me up. You'll see, all right, Feast of Trumpets is Tuesday. All right, so you're gonna plan a rapture party for 4 p.m. in the afternoon so you can watch the clock all the way to 6. It's long over by then, my friend. If you're on the East Coast, it's 6 p.m. is actually 11. No, yeah, 11 a.m. on the East Coast will be 6 p.m. in Israel. If you're in the central time zone, it's 10 p.m., 10 a.m. Um, and that's the rapture. Of course, I don't believe the rapture. Tuesday doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the day of creation. Now, you say, well, it's possible the calendar's messed up and the days of the week are not right. Okay, I'll give you that. It's possible, but I highly doubt it. I highly doubt it. Okay. That's it, fan. Thank you. Must I go and empty handed? Thus my Redeemer meet, not one soul with which to greet him, ought to lay at Jesus' feet. Boy, that haunts me. Listen, don't go to heaven empty handed. Don't go to heaven with nothing. You've done nothing for God. Yeah. Hey, you know the good news? There's still time. We are still down here. The Lord has not come yet. You've got time to do something for God. All right, let's see. I don't see anything on Facebook there. So I'll go ahead and end the Facebook. There we go. I'll end that. YouTube, let's see here. I think it's mostly Van's scriptures he's put up. And we sure appreciate him doing that. Got back from church and from traveling from Minnesota, Esther says. And anybody watch any of the Charlie Kirk thing? What an amazing, I mean, over 100,000 people there. Um, I mean, just the one place where they all were held 73,000. I think they put more in there because they were down on the field. Um, so there's probably 80,000 people in there, maybe more. Then there was another one across from it that there were quite a few thousand in that one. There were people outside and anyway, okay. All right, talking about a youth rally there. Carbon has, hey, that's interesting. Carbon has 6 protons, 6 neutrons, and 6 electrons. That's the number of man. That's interesting. And there's Genesis 6:3, the verse I quoted. Got his days should be 120 years. And hello, Esther and Ladybug. And let's see. I think the rest is scriptures. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll let you all go on this late hour here on Sunday night. And we'll be talking to you again, Lord willing, tomorrow night. God bless. And keep your eyes on them skies.